Happy Friday and welcome to The Lazy Redhead. And if you don't know, I am The Lazy Redhead. So go ahead and subscribe because I know you're gonna love it. As you can see, this video is called Waste Not Want Not. And the whole idea of it is to take materials, things that we just sort of are strewn about and make use of them. I like to use my swatching paper. It's just such a beautiful, already kind of ready-made artwork to build on top of. When you're swatching, you're just kind of going in there and you want to test the materials and look at the colors and see how it applies, see how it feels on the paper and see how, all these things. This is what your whole kind of focus is towards. You're not looking at the swatch going, oh, that mark looks a bit dodgeroony with it. It's none of that. You don't look at it from a visual point of view. You're concentrating on finding out different aspects of that art material, aren't you? You're not really thinking about, does the picture look as I want it to, or should it look like this? And that's the beauty of it. That is literally it. It's kind of like intuitive creating. So this week I'm going to use last week's workshop Swatcheroony from the Dough and Ink Tense swatching marathon, and I'm just gonna create with it. My mediums of choice right now are colouring pencils and acrylic ink, and I just, it's such a perfect combination for me right now. And there's no real words to sort of explain why, but I'm sure in time, as I continue using them and doing works like this for you guys, I'll get some sort of clarity on it. That's what we're gonna do. See you in a moment. A lot more than I thought I would, and I'm happy with the results, but it's still slightly drying. I have sealed it somewhat, so it's still drying, but I knew that I was pressing quite hard. And well, look at the back, you realise that. That's pretty, it's pretty bad, isn't it? I'm really quite happy with it. Let's see what you think. What do you think? It's a little bit pretty, isn't it? It's a little bit beautiful. You can still see a lot of the swatches underneath because it kind of informs the way it kind of sits. Like here, you can see them a lot in the sky here. And you can certainly see them in the ground, these kind of random bits that sort of you think don't make sense. This bit in the corner that's kind of like a brush off from the original Swatcheroony. These blobby bits on the ground. A lot of them are in the sky. But it just kind of informs the way I use the piece, where I start the landscape, where I cut it, you know, where the sky is, what could be made into sort of trees, what could be made into branches, what could be full and voluptuous and foliage like, you know. And I just don't seem to kind of get that any other way. I feel like it's forced a lot of the time when I try and recreate this kind of spontaneity any other way. I don't know what it is. It's strange, isn't it? Where were we? Oh yeah, it's a couple of days later, but it's about a week later. Basically what I did was went through my studio to try and find things that I'm not using that I should be using. I really like to keep on top of the clutter because as creatives, I think we all understand what it's like to hoard. I'm also fully aware that we've only got a finite amount of space. When my space is cluttered or I feel that it's cluttered, that can in itself can be really you know, overwhelming. To avoid feels like that, I just try and keep on top of the chaos. One thing that I did find was jelly gouache. Now, I haven't used this in a while. So I really want to start making use of that. I also have got this palette that I've used and I mixed my own stuff. And this was months and months ago. I mixed that palette for New York. That was how long ago I had mixed it and it stank, it was horrible. So I really wanted to see if I can make use of that and potentially combine the two to go out and about. Also though, one of the reasons I haven't used the gouache is because they move about when any moisture goes near them. So they kind of come to life again after they've dried, and that really bugs me. Although in the comment section, Laura did say, hi Laura, that there is such a thing as acrylic gouache now. I knew that this existed, but my brain didn't think acrylic gouache, when it dries, it doesn't move. I don't know why my brain didn't think that. I thought gouache, when it dries, it still moves rather than acrylic gouache. So that kind of changed my life a bit. If I still want to use gouache down the road, or it starts to become like a fundamental part of my practice and I'm getting a lot of enjoyment, a lot of use out of it, then I'll probably start getting tubes of acrylic gouache. I won't be getting the big jelly sets again, and because it's a lot, it takes up a lot of space. I mean, it has handle, you know, and it is sort of fairly thin. You can slide it under or pop it in a drawer, but I don't have many drawers. I have very limited sort of storage space in this studio, and you know, certainly when I started doing all this, I was at a kitchen table with my trusty studio trolley that actually is behind you, not behind me. Silly sausage. It is quite clunky, quite big. I think it's a bit obnoxious as gouache sets go. I think my plan is cleaning out the palette, fill up the palette with this stuff. At least then I can dry this stuff out on the palette and then I can utilize it. So maybe that's, I don't know. But we're gonna do that now. See if we can't kind of like whole waste not, want not this gouache situation and utilize that palette as well. So it's like killing two birds with one stone. I think that's a really great idea. Okay, so I've been wanting to do this for months, not gonna lie, months. Cleaning this bad boy out. Some of these colours are a mix of watercolour, mainly, well actually they're mainly like watercolour and gouache. They stink, they really do smell, and not in a good way. So what we're gonna do is we're going to clean this out as best we can. Oh, I just got flicked myself in the face. I'm gonna see if I can revive it, and the reason is because otherwise I'll just need to get a new one, because I've got this box of gouache, this jelly gouache, I want to start using and taking out and about with me. I can really mix some amazing colours, and that's what we're going to do. That is actually acrylic in there, so God knows what I'm going to do, actually. Oh, that's so annoying. The only problem with this kind of like palette is, you know, just the sheer admin that goes into sort of clearing it out. I mean, look at it. Oh my God. How do you do it? Like, how do you clear something like this out? That's acrylic in there as well. Is there a technique or something? Is there like a major fundamental step I'm missing? I've had this in here since New York. Do you remember I did it for the New York trip? And I haven't looked at it since. I've taken it on a couple of places. You will have seen it actually on my first out and about video. What I think I might do, right, I cleaned the lid, but it's obviously stained. Look at all that in there. Ugh, gross. That is gross, sorry, and it stinks. Is this what I think it's just, oh God, no. Ugh. Oh, it's horrible. Oh God, it's horrible. Okay, so I'm gonna probably have to soak this because this is ridiculous in like boiling hot water. and hope for the best. I've taken as much out as possible. There's two though that's got acrylic in, and I think that might have been the, this would have been Soft Body White in Liquitex, and that would have been Liquitex Basics because I really like that blue. The point is I've got these tubs of gouache, these jelly gouaches. I swatched them a while ago in a video called The Biggest Swatcheroonie Ever, and it was epic. It was a marathon. What I want to do is take some of these colours and mix them in like a bowl and then transfer them into this to start taking this out and about again. So that's what the plan is. But this is just, I mean, oh God, it's just so gross. How do you clean that out? I think I'm just going to have to, if I had a dishwasher it would be alright, wouldn't it? But I don't have a dishwasher. I'm just going to soak it in hot, boiling hot water and just sort of scrub-a-rooney around. Anyway, I'll be back in a sec. Well, for you it'll be like a millisecond. For me it's going to be like a lifetime, and we'll see how we get on. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to salvage the palette. I had left it overnight. I soaked it, I scrubbed it with a toothbrush, I did everything, and it was just not coming back to life. And then when I tried putting other paints in, it was just a full mess. So I had to stop. But what I did do was learn from that and get a different palette. This one's a travel one. Ooh. But it kind of comes apart. I think it's, is it magnet? Feels like it should be magnet, but it's not, but it comes apart. You've got the little pans, but it comes in like different sizes, which is what I really, really like. So, you know, you can, I mean, there's loads of them. Wow, I didn't realize there was that many. But you can essentially do what you like, which is great because I can clean these out a little bit better than I could the dish thing, plus that jelly thing that went on top, the bit that went on top to seal it all. When you took that off, it was covered in paint, and then you put it back. Oh, it was quite messy actually, and I wouldn't recommend it. What I really need to do is figure out how many paints I'm going to need, really, isn't it? Is that how it goes? I've never had one of these before. Probably shouting at the screen, aren't you? Like, you're an idiot. Ooh, it really does. Nice snug, snug, snug. Well, that's quite nice actually. You know, get some big ones. I'll probably put greens in these ones, and then potentially I'll probably put some sort of bluey ones, but this is for another video. So obviously we will swatch it all, create it all. I've got this watercolor paper. It's got like a really nice texture on the back. You can sort of see it there. There you go. Really nice texture on the back, and it also has a nice lesser, it's very similar to the colour of my sketchbooks, so I figured that I will get a very accurate colour. Basically, I've had these jelly gouache for a while, and it's quite big and there's a lot of them. I don't feel they're getting as used as they predominantly should be, and I think that that's just because of the nature of them. Basically, like acrylic, you put them down, once they dry they don't move. These are not like that. So let's start with Sky, shall we? Yeah. What's this one like? This one's quite nice as well, isn't it? And I want to try and get like a grey green. Okay, let's get the skies in first. Right, we probably want to get some white, don't we? There we go. One done. I'm also going to probably mix some green grey in, so I'll take a little bit of that, I'll take a little bit of that, and I'll take some white. Why not? Let's get it all in the corners. As you know, guys, I do not waste materials, no matter what they are. Everything gets used, hence the title of this video. So I'm gonna have to do, I know I can hear you screaming at me, is take these out and then do them. Look how satisfying that looks. It's really, really nice to like create your own palette. I don't know what it is. Doesn't it look delicious? Delish! Okay, so I'm just gonna swatch what we've just done. Okay, so we have got the, yeah, that's nice. My favorite color at the moment for skies. This is also kind of sky related. It just gives you some clouds, give you a bit of, oh, there's a lot there. Gives you that kind of really gloomy, oh no, rainstorm situation. Not that we've had many of them the last few weeks, but we will do. So we have a lake over here. Oh, we have a lake over here. Nice. There's a bit really over here. Oh yeah. Num 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 num. This is like the best swatching session ever, actually. Okay, so now we've got land, haven't we? We've got some grass. Oh, that one's very watery. There's a bit here, so I'm just gonna put in a bit of land here. What about this bit over here? Lovely. Love, 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 love. Some ochre trees just sort of there. This is like the weirdest, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. This is a bit of a wild card, this one. More like a dark teal green. But I figured I could potentially mix some in with that and create some nice colours. Could go in like so, make a nice weird tree. Love, love, love. And we've got this beautiful, beautiful purple. I always find that you know, with a bit of white, it just lifts a piece. See how that does? See how that's done that? It's just kind of lifted that slightly. You know, I just find that it is a really nice addition to most things, and it creates these lovely mauves. I love a mauve. That's my new gouache palette. What do you think then? Obviously we've got this now, we're left with this, and it's got a really weird like finger thing. I think it's to put your finger in like when you're holding it, so that it kind of does this. You know, like the mobile phone cases sometimes have now. I don't have one. It still looks really pretty. So I'm really delighted with that. The colours are really strong. I think all I'm probably missing is a red, like a really vibrant red. And it's more to neutralise other bits and bobs. But, you know, as palette goes, it's good. So I can see what I use out of that. So that's going to go in the go bag, ready to go. I know, don't even. I think I've not woken up yet. I think I'm really, yeah, I haven't woken up yet. Oh, that cup goes really nice with this jumper. Oh, you never know what you're going to find. That's nice, I like that. There was very little in my studio that I don't get use out of at some point. The thing is, my head, it wants to be a minimalist, and as an artist, a mixed media artist of all things, it's really difficult. I do practice minimalism in the rest of my home. I'm a stickler for certain things, but in the studio it's slightly different. I do try my best. You know what creativity's like. It's kind of like one day you'll come into the studio and completely abandon everything you were totally into the day before, and then something else will take over, and if you don't have that thing, you know, you have to order it and then wait for it, then that phase is gone. So you might as well keep it and then be ready for that desire to create with that medium. I know that sounds mental, doesn't it? It sounds mental. I know what I'm on about. I'm just not very good at kind of expressing what I mean today. Yeah, I'm going to do something on the website, and I'm going to pop some more amazing gallery entries as well as some poetry. Hi Winder, I've written a poem and it's the most beautiful thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read out this poem because it's just amazing, right? And it was left on the comments section. It's just so lovely. I find words for me are difficult because I've got dyslexia. When anyone can create the same way I can with paint, do you know what I mean? Their words is their medium. I find it just so fascinating, like how the brain can do that with words, because I find it such a struggle day to day, just in general, but to be able to actually yield them in a creative way and create so much meaning is just beyond me. I find it really fascinating. So this is called All Things. Oh, I'll get my glasses on because let's be honest. We ready? Are we ready? Bits and bobs and all things smart, paint and ink and all things art. Fun and fresh and all things fine. Draw and sketch and all things shine. Teach and speak and all things tell. Film and share and all things smell. Bits and bobs and all things smart. Ginger girl and all things art. But that's going on the website. I'm going to put that in the LRH gallery, and I'll probably put it on my... I'll probably see if I can like entwine it into like a blog at the start somehow, like a subscriber appreciation thing. But it's definitely going in the gallery. I'm just, it's the most beautiful thing, isn't it? There are going to be some major developments coming soon. New features, new opportunities. I don't want to go too much into it now, just because I'm still in the middle of conceptualizing, and I don't want to say something that either excites you that doesn't end up happening or put you off, and that, you know, you get it, right? There are some serious changes that are going to be made, and I'm very excited about them, but I have to play it well, and I have to make sure I do it properly and do it right. Also, the did you know feedback, amazing. People seem to really identify with it. People seem to really love it. I was so nervous about it going out, and I know that people are just delightful on this platform. Like, I've created such a beautiful community I couldn't even have anticipated in my wildest dreams. But you all are just immensely supportive, and so I knew that I wasn't going to be hit by you guys with anything major, but the channel would certainly reach a different type of audience as well. And it's just other people coming in and maybe being critical about my facts or lack thereof. Or, I mean, there was a lot more questions than I had anticipated. Even after I had filmed and shot it, I was like, what about this? And there was a discussion in the groups, in the comments section, which I really enjoyed. But I potentially could have gone a step further maybe and answered them. But as I said, this will be very much an organic process for me. I really want to like develop the skills it takes to create a video like that. Also, actually, before I forget, there was a lovely subscriber who was just an absolute bloody darling. Hi Marianne, thank you for commenting. I think it was 12 hours, yeah, so it was yesterday. You commented yesterday on the how to break in new art materials workshop, and informed me that the Inktense wasn't watercolour, it was ink, which is why it's called Inktense. I know, I'm an idiot. I'm such a bloody idiot. Oh my word. And it's so bloody obvious, but she said they are very, very different. I'll read out the comment just so we're all aware, because I hate misinforming. I do not go out my way to misinform people, but I don't know where. I just thought it's a watercolour pencil. I think it was because of the Krita colour that I was using. I don't know, but it's not. It's bloody ink, which accounts for the fact that it is so pigmented. But there we go. So love the Inktense pencils, sticks of ink, not watercolour. Oh, and she says she uses them on fabric too, so, which is why it was so fabulous on the raw canvas. So it kind of, her story checks out. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Thanks, Marianne, for commenting on that, because I really do appreciate it, and I do apologise for misinforming. On the product, it is obviously Inktense. It says it in the bloody name. It's like the Van Gogh Starry Night book situation all over again, isn't it? To those of you who haven't seen that, it's like a short video. I'll link it, but it was yeah. It's like deja vu. I feel drained. I'm sorry. I feel, you probably can tell as well. I know when I watch other people's videos when they're not feeling 100%, and sometimes I just want them to acknowledge it. Is that me being weird again? To be fair, we've achieved a lot. We have achieved a lot this week. So there is a lot coming up, and I'm trying to be a bit more kind of forward planning, just because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my shit together for you guys. Because there are going to be some big changes, and I want you to be part of those changes. Ultimately, couldn't do it without you. Okay, I'll see you later. Mwah.